Everybody, morning, Kathy. How are you today?
Great. How are y'all?
Good. Good to see you.
Good.
Thanks for coming.
I just thought I'd pop in for a minute.
Mhm.
Our big, newsworthy issue right now is the Tenant-Bill-of-Rights in the city. It looks like all the preliminary passage stuff has been done, and I'm pretty sure that it's going to pass. It's not particularly well drafted, and I don't think it's a good use of funds. We've tried to get the word across that, this isn't a good way to do things, but the progressives on the Board of Aldermen and Mega Green do not want to listen to us. They just want to demonize landlords. The bill will provide that they use taxpayer dollars to fund attorneys for tenants. It might not provide, the language might not provide attorneys for all tenants being evicted. It's kind of, their definition section has limited it to tenants being terminated. And as you know, most of the evictions are rent and possessions, in which case there's not a termination. It's just a rent and possession. So we don't know what they're going to do about that. And our bottom line is, if you are not paying your rent, you're going to get evicted. And I don't care how many lawyers you have. We have lawyers opposite us on cases all the time. Sometimes they're easier to deal with, but they might be able to get an extra continuance or something, but the person's going to get evicted if they're not paying the rent. I think it would be more appropriate, if they really want to dump money on this, to provide social workers and mental health professionals to help people that maybe are eligible for benefits or, need placements or, that kind of thing. We currently believe that about 25 to 30% of the people we talk to in eviction court are either mentally ill or abusing substances or both. So lawyers are not going to help them. We don't know how to help those people. Lawyers are basically sociopaths. And, even the do-gooder lawyers who represent tenants, those poor folks burn out pretty quickly because they get tired of being abused and lied to. And we always have a situation where a lawyer is supposed to get back to us on behalf of a tenant, and the tenant's not communicating with them, or has ghosted them, or, that kind of thing. So we might even be willing to work out a good deal for that tenant, but their lawyer can't get hold of them. So I think this is going to be a joke. To me, the number of things they need in the city that are not free lawyers for tenants are so great that I don't know why we're spending money on this, but okay. And I'm a city resident. So we're watching that. We expect it to be enacted sometime after the upcoming city elections, and I will let you know and get you a copy of the final bill when that happens. The other thing that I thought you might want to talk about is our friend Kim Gardner, who is, I just can't even tell you, because I've got a lot of inside baseball on this because I spend so much time in the courthouse. There are no judges supporting her at this point. She is running with a very small number of active trial lawyers. I've heard 11, okay, where it's generally 60. And most of them don't have a lot of experience. There's not a lot of support staff. Everything is disorganized. I have heard that they are dismissing at least one murder charge a week because they're not ready to prosecute it. Supposedly they'll refile those things, but it's just a big lack of organization. I mean, it's a huge crisis. It's very sad about the young woman who lost her legs, but this is greater than that. It's not just one case that is a problem. And Kim's, reaction to that, her lack of compassion for crime victims is stunning to me. But this is her second term. She's had plenty of time to get her act together, staff up the office and that kind of thing, and she hasn't done it. There's just more people leaving. I'm not even sure how it can be fixed at this point, because whoever takes her place is going to have to hire a lot of people and train them. And, as anybody knows who does any kind of work, that takes a little time. We're all sitting around, attorneys and judges gossiping. We're all trying to figure out who will do this job. If they remove her through the quo warranto process, who will do this job? And the quo warranto process is going along in a very interesting way. All the judges in the city recused themselves as potential witnesses. So they picked a relatively new younger judge from the Missouri Court of Appeals, Judge Torbitsky, to be the judge to preside over this. And he has shown that he's, not playing. There's depots noticed up for Kim and for her staff, a request for productions. He has set a trial date in June. I mean, that's super fast for this kind of thing. So he's intent on holding these proceedings. I don't really have a lot to say about whatever the legislature is doing. I try to not pay too much attention to that because it can be so disturbing what they get up to down there. But I don't know if they're going to appoint a special prosecutor or not. I don't know who they would get. There's a lot of speculation that maybe an assistant U.S. attorney would come over and run the office or be a special prosecutor for a while. They have good experienced attorneys there, and they have a lot of, they have a good bench on trying cases that are federal crimes, murder, gun cases, that kind of thing. So that might be a source. But other than that, I don't know a lot about that. That's all everybody talks about in court is who do you think they're going to get to take Kim's place? We don't know. So anybody have any questions or anything?
I have one on a totally different topic, Kathy.
Okay, Dwayne.
Do you happen to know the difference between a business loan or a commercial loan and a regular loan?
Well,
If not, I'll put that over to Carrie afterwards.
Well, I would say there's many subcategories of each of those kinds of loans. From my point of view, as someone who sues to enforce loans that haven't been paid, I would say that on a commercial loan, the commercial borrower will have more rights with respect to Fair Debt Collection Practices Act and that kind of thing that the commercial lender won't have, the commercial borrower won't have access to as many of those rights. I don't know. Commercial loans are usually bigger.
Yeah. Well, that sounds right the way it was used, because they were talking about loaning money to people. And I said, well, how do you get around some of these, like a usury law? And they said, just make it a business loan or a commercial loan.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, I don't know what that means.
Well, maybe I stumbled upon sort of the answer to your question.
Great stumble.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else?
Yes, Kathy, I have a question. The bill that you're referring to as passing for the city, does that also include the county?
No,
Are they doing that? Okay, they're not
that's just
doing
in the
that.
city. I think the county board of whatever they call themselves is so dysfunctional at this point. I'm not sure they can pass anything. And I don't think that they have, what are they, councilmen in the county? I don't think they have a clear majority to be able to do that. And I actually think the county would not be willing to spend their funds on that. So
Okay,
we'll see. But so far, it hasn't happened in the county.
okay, great. That's good news.
Yeah. And I think, I'd want all of you, with the prospect of this coming up, check your leases. Make sure they have things in there like jury waiver clauses, so that if there are all of a sudden all these attorneys pouring into the system representing tenants, they can't ask for jury trials and do other things that would delay, the hearing of these cases. There's not a right to a jury trial on a case of first impression of a rent and possession, but there is on unlawful detainer unless you have a jury waiver. Jury waivers, if they're properly written, everything have generally been upheld by Missouri courts. And I can tell you that it's not pretty to try these things to a jury. I haven't lost one since 1986, but it's still not fun to do.
Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna go. It might be a couple weeks before I see you again because of stuff I've got scheduled, but everybody have a great week.
And how's your husband?
My husband, thank you for asking. He's doing so well. He's doing really well. We were just in at the hospital on Wednesday because he only has to go once a month now. And all the tests came back good and he's doing good.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Great
thank you
news.
for asking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you,
guys.
Kathy.
Thank you, Kathy.
Appreciate you
Thanks for
very
coming on.
much.
thanks. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So
All right.
Carrie,
Hey, well, hold on.
Hold on one second. Let's get,
Yeah.
Laura's on another call, but I want to give a little quick disclaimer that we meet every Friday here for networking, and we're here to share deals, look for deals, and look for solutions. And Kathy Davis is gracious enough to visit us the first Friday of each month, most of the time as she can, and we appreciate her popping in other times too. Just share stuff you would like everybody to know, because we typically record this. And don't share anything you don't want anybody to know, because we do put this up for the members and on YouTube. So we are not your financial advisors, attorneys, or accountants. So do your own due diligence. And I do emphasize, please do that, before you enter into any agreement. But we're here to share stuff, and we appreciate you all coming. And I think it's not as nice as Laura would have said it, but it's good to see y'all. So, yeah, go ahead. Anything you want to say, feel free.
I want to give a few announcements first. Some like other activities we got coming up. We got a busy month coming up for St. Louis Real Estate Investors Association. First of all, we got our second breakfast, networking breakfast, coming up on March the 14th. It's going to be the second Tuesday, every second Tuesday from now on, at the Shack in Creve Coeur. It's on our website. I've got it scheduled on Meetup. We start at 7 o'clock, but 7 to 9, what we're saying now. If you would just want to come in and have a cup of coffee sometime between 7 and 9, there'll be somebody around. We're in the back room. We got the back room set up, a bunch of tables for us. So we had a good little turnout. We had a half dozen people last month, and but we get one of the first times I got a chance to talk with everybody there from our networking lunches. When we had 20 and 25 people, I didn't always get around to talk to everybody, but yeah, I had, with the 6 of us, we had a lot of nice conversations. Some well-experienced investors were there, and so it's been a good opportunity to network. I got some things out of it, some references. So, and we even got a good recommendation for Soto Property Solutions. Stacy, one of your clients was there. Greg was one of your clients was there, saying good things about he's turned over the management his rentals to your company, and so he's been pleased. Also on March, our regular meeting on March 21st, the third Tuesday of March, we got John has Dan Bryan lined up. He is one of our members. He is our excellent person on very knowledgeable on privacy and asset protection. He's planning on doing a seminar coming up later this year. So might give you an opportunity. Hopefully he'll have a date set by the time he comes talk with us. I've been to it at least once, but I think I've been twice, just to get it, reinforce everything that he had to say. He doesn't do them very frequently anymore, so it'd be a good opportunity to take advantage of that. And then in later on the 23rd through the 26th, the Shriner Circus. We are St. Louis Real Estate Investors. We're one of the sponsors for the Moolah Shriners Circus. It's being held at the Family Arena in St. Charles. So we would like encourage everybody to go out. You'll be seeing our name on the banner. There are electronic banners that go out there, and it should be you'll see a lot of members out there too. And we may have some tickets. May have some tickets available if you come to our March 21st meeting. We're hoping to have some tickets available to give us attendance prizes for people that come out on that for our third Tuesday meeting. And then upcoming a little further out in April 29th, we just nailed it down in our board meeting last week. We're going to do a real estate 101 course, a good basic understanding for new investors, especially. Give you a good background and well-rounded on what different aspects, a lot of different aspects of real estate investing, and we'll have some real good folks to make presentations. It's an all-day Saturday, all-day thing on April 29th. So put that on your calendar as a reminder, and we'll be getting more details coming out on our website and Meetup, and probably some emails coming out too when we nail down the details. Anyway, wanted to let everybody know about that, and that's what we got going. Okay, Dwayne, you want to start things out? You want to pass your question up to Carrie now?
Yeah, I got several things. First one's for you, Lloyd,
Okay,
is, the self-storage you're looking for?
yeah,
I've been nosing around that business because I keep thinking I want to try it. And what I heard was that most of them are people that are doing it. They're either specializing in the self-storage you're looking for, or they're dumping it because they say it's a lot of theft goes on there and you can't control it. And video cameras don't help because they wear enough, I guess, hoodies or whatever they wear. And they can't find out who rips them off. And, they'll cut holes in the fences that secure it. So anyway, that's bad news for you, but there's probably some places that specialize in that around. Don't know how you find them.
mhm.
But I
You
think
find one
it's,
that's right across the street from a PlayStation, maybe that might be a little more secure.
I don't know.
Well,
Uh,
anyway, yeah, there's downsides to any investment.
Sure.
Yeah, I've heard things about self-storage that aren't don't make it as lucrative as some folks make it out to be.
Yes, but there's a Missouri Self-Storage Association that could probably
There
help
is?
you find who
Yeah.
there is. So you already know that. Okay.
You know that? Yes. In fact, if I really decide to get into it full forward, I'm going to start attending some of their meetings.
I may run into you.
Okay. Yeah, we might see you there.
Yes.
Anyway,
Second question was Carrie.
Mhm.
Is from what Kathy said, from your perspective as a banker, if a person's looking for a commercial loan, there's a lot less data that you guys have to collect as opposed to private people.
Yes, there's when you're dealing with consumers, there is usury laws, and usury, to be usurious on a commercial loan, it doesn't apply. Obviously, when we're looking at a credit as a company, we're looking at the company, and as a limited liability company, it kind of excludes you on a personal level, and it better protects you. It separates, your assets from the company assets. So if somebody trips and falls, then they can go after your company and whatever your company has. Actually, I have a lot of customers who, for each of their rental homes, they'll put it through the Missouri Secretary of State as 123 Main Street. So that company only has that asset.
Right.
So, I mean, and that's a good tactic. I mean, it might be a accounting nightmare for whomever's doing your books, but at the end of the day, it kind of protects you on a level that it only goes to that one item, and it kind of removes you and all of your other stuff in the event there was an accident on your property.
Right. So, but if I look at the loan paper work, okay, you don't need as much for me on a commercial.
No.
And the reason I think this would be good for everybody is if they're going to finance their sale or something, how do you determine that it's a commercial loan as opposed to it's not when you
Okay,
sell
if
to
you
someone?
Sure. Good question. Dwayne, if you put the loan in your personal name, it's a consumer loan, but there's rules to consumer loans. It has to be a residence that you live in, a primary residence, or a second home within so many miles away from each other. So there's different things that have to happen in order to have a consumer loan. On a commercial loan, you can have a commercial loan next door. You could have, a lender is going to require probably 3 years of your tax returns, because you'll probably in the beginning, or most of you do, probably file your tax returns with a Schedule E that lists the the real estate properties that you guys have. So once you establish a business, you put that business in, that asset into that business. And yes, personal financial statement, 3 years tax returns, and typically a debt schedule. If you have more than one property, they just kind of want to know, what do you owe on it? What did you buy for? What's your balance? What's your payment?
Right.
Your expenses, that kind of thing. Other than that, typically that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all we'll look at. Keep in mind that, a business loan looks at the business. So
what I'm hearing, that's why everybody says get them in LLCs if you're going to be flipping, if you're going to be doing anything, if you're going to go
Yes.
see the banker, and then you take your other paperwork, your operating agreement, and hook up with the bankers and
Absolutely.
it gets out from underneath the Grand Rudman Act too, apparently.
Yeah, and one of the things that I want to tell you guys, if you go online to register your company within the state of Missouri, don't pay for anything. There's a lot of companies out there, you know, that'll have their ad up that you think you're going to the Secretary of State and you're not, and all of a sudden you owe them $300 because they filed for your EIN number or they filed for your, you know, your charter. Don't do that. If you need any help, I'll be happy to help you. It's easy. I'll be happy to do it for you. It's easy peasy, and just don't pay anybody to do that.
And that's worth a lot of money, that statement there. Because, and Akashi, I think $53. So.
Yeah, well, you know, and the thing of it is you can get caught up in one of these websites and you put all your information in at the end, you know, even if you're getting your EIN number or even if you're getting, you know, the charter, they'll sucker you in. So just beware. I want to say that. And if you need any help, I'll be happy to help you. No charge, I promise.
Good information. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was surprised when I learned all of that. So I think that can be very beneficial to everybody that's in the group here.
Yeah, and you, like I said, Dwayne, if you were to consider that a separate corporation for each property, like I said, I see it all the time. Originally, I was like, what the heck, you know, but then it kind of made sense. I kind of understood as time went on that, you know, to protect yourself, and that's the whole purpose of having a company, is to separate you personally from your business. And it's really worked out for some of my customers in the past.
And was as what do they call that? A family of LLCs. You can have multiple LLCs under one group. They didn't have that when I filed for mine, but yeah, it was easy. I like to say that I filed for my LLC back in 2006 on a Saturday morning while I was in my pajamas. It was, and got my EIN number, applied for my EIN number and everything. So it's not a big deal.
Yes, and I know people tout the other LLCs you're talking about, the Series LLC.
Series, that's what it is, Series.
Yes, and I went and had some converted over, and I found it such a pain in the bum to do them individually, and then it was easier to deal with somebody like Carrie to say, okay, this is what I've got, as opposed to, yeah, I have this one master, but how many's under it? And that's her first question, and then you got to start digging. So, but that's just my personal opinion, because we all get to do this business our own way. But I like the individual ones. And contrary to what I was told by some attorneys, they say you can't have a master LLC that manages your other LLCs, and I've been doing that all my life. So, you know, all I heard was they want to make money.
Well, yeah. Hopefully you never have to have it challenged, so that.
True, and I don't know. I don't think the Series LLCs have been tried in court and, you know, really got the history behind them that they do through like regular LLCs do.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, those are typically called disregarded entities, and that would flow through on your Schedule E. It could be a business, it could be an LLC. So it could be, you know, Dwayne LLC doing a business as Dwayne #1 LLC, and it would flow through on your Schedule E as a disregarded entity.
So Carrie's wanting to sue Dwayne, so she comes out here and she would hit all of those then, even though they think that they're individual each, because it hasn't been tried in court. True?
Well, in my opinion, if you have a company, if I'm trying to foreclose for non-payment of a property that you have, and you're a personal guarantor, okay, and you're personally guaranteed, it would be on you. Having said that, if your other corporations or your other entities are not listed as a joint and several borrower or as a guarantor, those are items that typically we cannot go after. Anything joint with your spouse. Say, for example, that you and your spouse are obviously married and you have this business and you're an investor, and but your deed of your house is you and your wife's name. Well, as a lender, I couldn't, if I'm going after you personally because of the personal guarantee, I could not go after your home because it's part of your wife's as well. So.
Yep. Yeah, well, she told me she didn't want to do any more business with me, so it's okay.
Yeah, that works then.
We're very separate now, but just on that part.
Yeah.
Great, thank you. I It's amazing what I'm running into out there now that I'm back nosing around.
Okay. Very good. So, anybody else have any haves, wants, any questions like Dwayne? Any wholesalers on board today? You got something under contract? You're looking for an assignment? We got,
Yeah, it's my
Terrel.
first day in the group. Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't typically know how this goes, but I'll pitch it how I always pitch it, you know. We're a water mitigation company. We work with roofers and home inspectors. We're certified mold removers, and we have no fire damage. We work all the way everywhere in St. Louis. We do work in the greater St. Louis area and Illinois, such as Edwardsville, Belleville, etc.
Okay, you want to give information, contact information for your company?
Yeah, I give you permission to contact me. My phone number would be 314-873-2391.
Okay. And do you have a company name you operate under?
We are Restoration One. I'm
Restoration
sorry
One.
about that. It's been
Okay.
a long, early morning. You know.
Okay. Yeah,
Can you put your info in the chat for us also, please?
yeah, if you could put in the chat,
That way people can write it down. So
if somebody didn't get it, catch it there. Yeah, put in the chat. It'd be great. And it's raining today, so you never know when you're gonna have water problems.
Yeah.
I can see we got Melissa from One Way Roofing on today too. I just finished this Wednesday, fixing the water damaged ceilings from the roof that leaked before Melissa and One Way had put on a new roof for me. Finally got around to getting my kitchen contract. We had some time in between while we're waiting for our floors to cure out. We had floors refinished, and so I said, "Hey, you want to fill this day? I got some painting to do over at one of our rentals." So finally got him over and knocked out all that ceiling.
So you finally moved back to the house?
We moved back. Yeah, Jim's talking. Yeah, we moved out of our house for 4 days because the floors in the kitchen refinished. It wasn't safe to be habitable and with the noxious fumes. But yeah, we came back on Tuesday. So
Okay.
a nice little weekend off, staying in a motel, played tours. Even got out to see Jim's airplane at the hangar with the. They got a great little museum out there. That's off the.
Yeah, it's a
St. Louis at the Creekport Airport. Got a great
it's a nice museum.
aircraft museum there. So
Mm.
anyway, back on real estate. Anybody else have anything for us today? You got any burning questions for what you've been wanting to know about?
How long have you guys been doing this meeting?
Oh, this meeting has been going on since the start of the pandemic. Well, this organization, St. Louis Real Estate Investors, has been around since 1977. We started this online forum, or it was John's idea. He started it up one of the first couple months of the pandemic.
But it's because of Kathy Davis with their updates on the courts is originally how we did this.
Yeah, that's true.
We're into a networking the rest of the time, but we will be going into starting our 4th year here in about another month. Or actually
Oh,
less than a
okay.
month. So actually, yeah, you're welcome to come on every Friday at 11 Central Time.
I actually mentioned to Terrel this morning at a meeting. I had met him and was really impressed with all of the things that he talks about. One of the things that I thought would be a great attribute to the group is that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Terrel, but you have a 24-hour service. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We are 24 hours.
Yeah, and when somebody's water is like pouring out of something, or, you know, you need to stop that and you need to get that cleaned up as soon as possible to avoid all of the other issues. And that was one of the things that I think Restoration One does in terms of, you know, being there for you. Call them for 24 hours.
Yeah, that's, you know,
Terrell, do you do emergency tarping?
Yeah, we handle emergency tarping. We, such as yourself, we work with numerous roofing companies. They often find mold, you know, or leaks, obviously. But yeah, we do that.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
okay. Very good to know.
I have a question.
Sure.
It's actually for Melissa. Hey, Melissa, I just wanted to know, do you, are you affiliated with the St. Charles City and their bid system? Or do you guys just not get involved in that?
No, we would like to get involved with that, but we are not.
Okay, because actually I guess I am subscribed to that, if you will, and they're currently looking for a, let me find it. They're looking for a roofing system maintenance and repair rebid. So I didn't
Okay.
know if I could forward this to you, if you know, and if you need help in getting on here just to kind of see what the city is looking for. I do it with City of St. Charles, the St. Charles County, City of St. Peters. So anyway, I'd be happy to forward this to you and let you know how to get on it.
That would be great. Yeah, we've done work for them in the past, but it's been a few years, so that would be great. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
What's the rest of your number, Melissa? 314 what?
504-1581.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I'll put it in the chat also.
Okay, yeah, please do.
I don't care now. I already have it.
Well, everybody else can look in the chat if they missed it. Anyway, anybody else got anything? I mentioned earlier to Stacy that one of her clients was at our breakfast earlier. If you want to say anything, you're Stacy's with Soto Property Solutions, property management, full service property management company. You like to, and you're one of our sponsors. So would you like to say a few words today? I don't see your boss on here.
Yeah, he's actually in Cancun, so
Ooh, that's a good place to be.
Yep. So he's on
Sounds
vacation.
amazing.
But I talked, I believe a little last week, maybe the week before, but yeah, we're full service property management company. So call us for any of your rental needs. We're very experienced. And I had mentioned we're very involved in local and state realtor associations. And I am part of the St. Louis Association of Realtors advocacy committee. And we are actually, this is kind of piggybacking off Kathy, the Tenant-Bill-of-Rights. We're trying to build kind of like a task force to work with the bill, but also oppose a lot of the stuff that they're trying to pass. So we have a meeting in a couple of weeks, and I think I'll have a little more information, and I can share that with you guys because I know a lot of us are landlords, and it's going to hurt a lot of us that have property in the city. There are some things that the bill, it makes sense, and some things do need to change, but a lot of it is really going to hurt private small landlords. So I will let you know any more information that comes up in the next couple of weeks in our meeting. I think it's on the 15th of March. So I'll come back and let you guys know if there's anything you can do as private landlords to kind of help us out to oppose this bill. So, and then, yeah, we're always here for if you need us for property management too. I'll put my email and number in the chat, but my office number is 636-305-3380. And then I'm extension 311. And my email is Stacy, STACY at SOTOPS.com. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Stacy. Yeah. Their contact information is also on our website too. They're one of our sponsoring vendors. So
Stacy, do you do a lot of work with apartment complexes?
Yeah, we do. We do anything from single families all the way up to commercial buildings. So we do have a couple like 6 families. We're looking to get more into the larger multifamily units. But yeah, we do it all from single family to 4, 6 families and also commercial buildings and HOAs. We manage those as well.
Okay, we if you'd ever need it, we train apartment complex like custodians, and we will train them on safety and how to really effectively, you know, be able to do their job successfully. I know the workers market is terrible right now. You know, if you ever need it, go ahead, reach out.
Okay, definitely. I'll send, we have a maintenance director. I'll send him your information.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
okay, very good. Another contact made there this morning.
Hey, Lloyd.
Hey, Christopher.
Yeah, I'm looking for lawn mowing service in South City. If anyone has a reliable one.
A lawn mowing service in South City. Okay. I'm sure.
I know a company actually.
Okay, Terrell knows somebody. Okay, you know, got a company name or contact information?
Yeah, I'd have to go to my office and pull it
Okay.
out of it, you know. But is there any way I can contact you, Chris?
Yes. Let me put my contact information in here right now.
Okay.
My phone number is 303-359-1296. And I'm gonna
Okay.
put my name on here. Thank you, Terrell.
No problem.
Okay, let's see. I see Nina left some information there. She has a staging company. She had to get off. But she left her information in the chat. If you're looking for a staging company, an opportunity to connect with her. Anyway, anybody else?
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Does anybody know any like contacts of a decision maker in law enforcement departments? We do like COVID cleaning, and we do a cleaning service. So we could clean their vehicles if they're like dirty or vomit, etc. Or even the jail cells. I heard they're dirty. Never actually seen them before, but we'll clean those as well. But it'll be like a fixed price. So.
Okay, do you do what do they call it? Biohazardous cleanup too?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, you mean like cleaning up a former meth production house?
Yeah, we'd much rather not. Hopefully it's completely dismantled, but yeah, we
Okay.
do that as well.
Okay, I heard there were some companies that kind of specialized in that, but okay.
Yeah.
Terrell, what about like death cleanups?
Yeah, we'll do that as well. We have the chemicals, antimicrobial chemicals to clean that up as well. So they can be taken care of.
Awesome. My daughter is a funeral director, so I will pass your information to her as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Information for all kinds of professions here today.
Hey, Terrell, you'll do blood cleanup when somebody gets shot in your place and it bleeds on the floor and that, I assume. Do you know what a rough figure that would be to have that cleaned up?
It's all about a scale thing, depends on how big it is, how wide space area, all of that. Even if it's in a vehicle, it's kind of difficult to put it directly on one fixed price, unless we work something out that no matter any time you call me, it'll stay that price.
Let's say if it's a 10 square foot place that needs the blood cleaned up and a paper issued, it's good to go.
That's awful specific, sir.
I just want a general price. And I'm not looking to have any dead bodies and any blood in any of my places.
I'm afraid where this is going. I'm really
Yeah,
afraid
no.
where this conversation is going. We're gonna find deceased bodies everywhere. You're gonna be busy, Terrell.
What do you got going on there, Dwayne? Is there something we don't know about you?
No, I get asked that question and I know what I've seen out there and I just want to know where he stacks up compared to everybody else roughly.
About 10 square feet. I say about $400 at most.
So I can tell you one thing for sure. I can tell you that that's a good price. And you issue the paper too, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Because I saw a lot of them at $10,000 and then I contacted another person I knew in the real estate industry and they got it done for $1,000. And the friend that needed it, because it was the second day she'd moved in, she got killed by her boyfriend and going, wow, $1,000, a whole lot nicer than 10,000.
That's a horrible story, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, now you got a vacancy to boot again. So thanks for that.
We don't really price gouge. We're just like the typical person, American, sitting here trying to make it. We don't really price gouge at all.
Very good.
Terrell, do you do like hoarder cleanouts also? Because I imagine that would be a big issue in the rental industry.
Yeah, we do. That is always our employees don't necessarily like that, but yeah, we do that as well.
Is your number in the chat?
Yes, it is. You have to scroll up a little bit.
Okay, anybody else got anything for us?
The only thing I got is just as usual.
Yeah,
Anybody
Charles.
needing private money or looking for leads, give me a holler.
Okay, Charles, did you put
Take one.
your contact in?
Yeah, I'll put it all in there again.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
thank
Yeah,
you.
Charles is a private lender.
I'll piggyback on Charles and
Sure,
give my
go ahead.
normal speech.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm Carrie. I'm with New Frontier Bank. I'm a commercial lender, handle all kinds of properties. Right now, I think that, we're kind of getting stabilized, I hope. I haven't heard much. I know in a couple of weeks, feds are going to meet. So maybe just 0.25%. So they're kind of settling us in so that we get used to this. But if anyone needs anything, please let me know. Anything. If it's not even a loan, if you guys just have questions or, need a relationship as a banker, please let me know. I would love to work with each and every one of you, just on a relationship basis. So let me know.
Very good.
Carrie, can you say your phone number and your email address, please?
Absolutely. I should know that by now. Thanks. I appreciate it, Melissa. Yes, it's Carrie Curley with New Frontier Bank. My office number is 636-940-8740. My cell, great way to catch me, 314-220-4227. And I'll put my email and all that information in the chat. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Carrie. And I just looking in the chat here, I see Linda has some 3 off-market single-family properties. Do you want to talk about, you put, yeah, you got the addresses and your contact information there. Do you want to say a little more about them? Unmute yourself, Linda. Or maybe her mic's not working. That's why she put it in the chat. I'm not sure, but okay.
Do you have any prices on those, Linda? If you can't talk, can you maybe put in there what your what they are? Yes. Okay, that'd be very helpful. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, she'll contact her later after 4 o'clock. Yeah. So yeah, she can put some price information. There you go. Multifamily package. 500K. Okay. To give you an idea, you got 3.
That's not bad at all.
3 properties. Yep, 3 properties. So anyway, yeah, if you're interested in that, get her information and contact her after 4 o'clock. 314-498-0598.
Can you say that again?
314-498-0598. She has 3 properties, that one on Tiffin, one on Evergreen, and one on Canterbury. Oh, and South Grand. Okay, there's, so maybe it's 4. Multi-family, that's the 4 families. Okay. So anyway, if anybody wants any details on that, contact Linda, that number. Carrie's got her information there. Okay, Linda put a little more information there. One on Tifton's 110,000, Evergreen 58,000, Ames 93,000. So something for everybody. I guess the multi-families were the 500,000. Okay. And yeah, if anybody else has any lawn service information for Chris in on the south side, can pass that along to Chris too. Otherwise, nobody has anything else. I'm ready to grab some lunch before I get back to painting in my downstairs bathroom. We're doing the kitchen and the bathroom. Finished with the kitchen a couple weeks ago. Sorry, I missed out. I think it was 2 weeks ago I was painting my kitchen. Thought I'd be done by 10:30 and get on the call, and I checked my phone next time and it was 12. So sorry I missed that, but got my alarm today. So
Got one little quick question.
yeah, Charles.
Custodians for your LLC, has anybody got much input on that? I've got one that they're charging like $120 for a custodian for the LLC. Seems like a little bit high. Probably should do it myself, I would imagine, but just checking.
So is that a one-time fee for just doing the filing?
No, that's a one time a year for being the custodial, so they contact them instead of me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, don't do that. Don't do that. If that's from what I'm understanding you saying, Charles, is that they set themselves up as a contact for you to speak on your behalf, basically.
Right.
No.
Kathy Davis
You
does
can
that
give them
for
my name. I'll
particular-
do that for you for free. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's a registered agent, I think.
Yes, and a registered agent can be anyone, and necessarily it could be yourself. And I could tell you, I have other businesses and have had my own business in the past. I was listed as a registered agent, and honestly, I had never got a call. You'll get your tax documents, but you'll need those anyway. So it's very, yeah. If you don't do that, Charles, yeah.
It had gone up substantially.
And their only responsibility is that they have to notify the state if you decide that you're not going to be, and you have to file a change of registered agent. So if you were to go from this company to yourself, which is very doable, it's a very simple filing online, and I can even show you how to do that. It would, like I said, that's all the notification that you have to do, they have to do, and you could get out of that. How many, is it for like all your LLCs, or do you have several, or how does that work for you?
Oh, I've got 2 LLCs.
Yeah,
So-
that's just, that's very creative for somebody to charge for that. Typically it's an attorney, but it's typically an attorney. If you go to an attorney to have them file your paperwork, they'll do that, list themselves as that, but it's all inclusive with everything that you're paying for them. It's not an annual charge. It's not anything. There's no work on their end other than,
If they get a call.
yeah, and they don't get calls, like I said, they're going to send the tax documents to you and stuff.
Was kind of in that frame of mind, but I figured, well, they're probably not the only one that has run across that.
Yeah. Let me know if you need any help. I'll even can email you the form to fill out and just send it to them.
Okay.
So let me know.
Yeah. Hey,
All right.
Charles,
Yeah.
to me, what I understand that's in there for is basically make sure there's a place to receive the legal notices if somebody has a problem with you.
That's right.
And I don't know if Carrie's aware of that, because that carries some responsibility with it,
Yeah.
because they got to get it over to you.
And I don't think you want your name on there, because that way they know who it is. The LLC doesn't shroud you then. Your identity is known. That's why you have a registered agent. So they don't know who it is. They don't know who's in charge of the LLC. At least that's my thought. So if you put your
You're
name down
muted,
there.
Carrie.
There's other ways that they're going to find out your information. I mean, they can go through the Secretary of State. They could go through the real estate records. They can go through tons of databases to find out who you are. It's not going to alleviate you from being served or whatever. And it's not necessarily a legal on there for legal reasons. It's on there for a representation, basically, if that makes
Correct.
sense. So, I mean, eventually, it's not like somebody's going to want to sue you. So who do I go sue? They're going to look up the corporation and they're going to find, but you being a registered agent doesn't imply any kind of a legal obligation. It just implies a contact. So it's.
Yeah,
it's
but if
really
they're going to
not a
sue
deal.
you, if they're going to sue you, Carrie, they're going to send it to that person, and therefore it doesn't matter who's in that organization, you've been served. And that's what I was told it was for.
Well, I mean, I guess if they have the obligation to give that to you, I don't know what, I don't know how much of an effort that would be to either be served or have someone else be served on your behalf. But it's not necessarily you, it would be your business that they would be serving. So
No, it's whoever has that designation. They're your face to the world for legal stuff, is what I understand.
but all they do is pass it along to you.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we're on the same page. It's just if you want that responsibility, I guess. I've never really had any issues with registered agents. If I was foreclosing on something, I never went to the registered agent to notify them of anything. So I don't know, maybe it's something different.
Maybe your attorneys do.
No, I had to do my own.
Oh, your own.
Yeah. I mean, if you look me up and my LLC and secretary, my name's nowhere near anywhere on that. It's my registered agent, and nobody knows that it's my LLC. They have to go through my registered agent. They cannot find me directly. You're muted again.
Good point, Bruce. Yeah, that's why you want to probably show up at our March meeting to find out about holding your properties in trust, because that's a whole another degree of anonymity. So I know I'm looking forward to learning from Dan again. So what is that? It's the 21st, I think, this month.
21st.
Yeah, so mark your calendars. Be sure to show up at the Moolah Shrine Center over there. And that's the same week of the circus. So if you haven't gotten your free coloring book yet, be sure to go to STLREIA.com and download your book if you want to get it to where they print it out for you, you'll have to go to Amazon, and we'll probably have a link up there later for that, but you can go to Amazon and get it. But it's a good free book for the kids. We're looking forward to the circus coming up the same week as Dan talking about trust. So we look forward to seeing you all guys there. It'd be a really good meeting. Bring questions. This conversation we're having today is excellent. This is a good one to bring to the meeting. And he's the only one we have scheduled, so there'll be plenty of time for us all to talk about that.
Yeah, that's a good point to bring up. Yeah, he talks about trust and other. He says he's got some new materials too, so he might have some other ideas for better, more privacy in your real estate holdings. So I'm glad you mentioned the coloring books too. I ordered mine on Amazon yesterday for give one to my grandson.
Yeah, and Bruce asked if there are going to be any clowns at the meeting. I think there's always a lot of clowns.
We always have clowns at our meeting. So.
But one of the things they're doing at the circus this year is with the programs they're giving out to the kids. They are encouraging autographs from the clowns. They're not going to be just all the evil clowns this time. I think they're all going to be friendly. So hopefully we'll have some more friendly clowns at our meeting too, like we usually do. So that'll be a lot of fun. So do mark your calendars if at all possible. Plan on being on location there. So thanks, Bruce.
Okay. Well, if nobody else has any other last calls, I think it was a good wrap up of our conversations here today, and kind of tie it all back to our next meeting on the 21st of March. So I'm ready to sign off for today. Unless anybody has any last minute thoughts. Not, we'll see you hopefully at breakfast in let's see, a week from this coming Tuesday on the 14th or on the 21st for sure. Here, Dan Ryan. Anytime. Take care.
Thanks, everybody.
Yep. Thanks for coming.